Today, we're diving into the neon-lit world of the neon red crayfish. This isn't your average aquarium pet. Oh no, this little guy has a personality bigger than you'd expect from something that fits in the palm of your hand. I've got a question for you, and you'll want to stick around for the answer. What if I told you this crayfish has a superpower that lets it see a world humans can't even imagine? Intrigued? Well, stay tuned, because I promise the answer is going to change the way you see these incredible creatures forever. Imagine walking into your living room, glancing over at your aquarium, and there it is. This little red dynamo crawling around, owning the space like it's the king of the tank. You'd be forgiven for thinking it was just a regular crayfish, but hold up. Under the right light, this crustacean turns into a rave party waiting to happen. That's right, these crayfish can actually glow. Pop a blacklight near your aquarium and suddenly your neon red crayfish is lighting up like it's front and center at an underwater disco. I mean, how cool is that? But the glowing isn't even the best part. You see, the neon red crayfish is as spunky as it is flashy. This little crustacean packs a punch with its personality. Don't let its small size fool you. They've got attitude for days. You'll often find them waving their claws around like they're challenging everyone in the tank to a duel. I'm telling you, if there were Oscars for most dramatic aquatic pet, these guys would take home the trophy, claws down. But here's something most people don't know. These crayfish are total escape artists. That's right, your little neon red crayfish could be plotting its great escape while you're watching Netflix. I'm serious. They have the amazing ability to climb the walls of their tanks. 1 minute they're minding their own business, and the next, Houdini, gone. Well, not completely gone, but you might find them exploring your living room. It's like having your very own Spider-Man with claws. So make sure the tank lid is secure. Trust me, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with a crayfish wandering across your floor like it's making a bid for freedom. Let's go back to that question from earlier. What if I told you this crayfish has a superpower that lets it see a world humans can't even imagine? Let me set the stage. You and we're stuck seeing the world in just 3 primary colors. Reds, blues, and greens are all we get. But these crayfish, they're living in a different world, a brighter, more vibrant world. You see, the neon red crayfish has something called tetrachromatic vision. Yeah, I know it sounds like a fancy superhero term, but it's real. While we're out here with our 3 basic color receptors, these guys have 4. That's right, they can see a whole extra range of colors we can't even begin to fathom. They can see UV light, colors that are completely invisible to the human eye. It's like they're walking around with superhero glasses 24/7. Just imagine what their world looks like. Where we see plain old aquarium plants, they're probably seeing an explosion of vibrant neon colors. While we're busy choosing the right paint for our living rooms, they're out here soaking in a full-on color spectrum party. It's almost unfair how much cooler their world is compared to ours, right? So, next time you're watching your neon red crayfish do its thing in the tank, just remember, it's seeing colors you didn't even know existed. Pretty wild, huh? All right, let's talk more about their attitude. These little crustaceans have spunk. I'm talking serious spunk. They aren't just sitting around looking pretty. Nope. They are movers and shakers, always rearranging things. You set up their tank with care, plants placed perfectly, pebbles just right, and they look at it like, no thanks. They'll start rearranging the entire tank. It's like watching an underwater episode of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Plants in the back? Nope. Now they're front and center. Pebbles neatly arranged? Forget about it. Your crayfish is going to redecorate according to their own vision. It's amusing and maybe a little frustrating for you, but to them it's just another day in the life of an underwater interior designer. And here's where it gets even weirder. Some neon red crayfish can actually change gender. That's right, sometimes they'll just decide to switch from male to female, or vice versa. It's like one day they wake up and think, you know what? I feel like being a girl today, and nature's like, go for it. It's an incredible ability and just adds to their list of unique, fascinating traits. You never really know what to expect with these little guys. Remember earlier when I said these crayfish are escape artists? Let me tell you a story. I once knew a guy who had one of these crayfish, and he was meticulous about keeping the tank lid secure, but one night he wakes up to this scratching sound. He turns on the light, looks around, and what does he see? His neon red crayfish making a slow crawl across the living room floor. I'm telling you, if they could wear tiny capes, they'd be supervillains plotting world domination. They're incredibly good climbers. They can actually scale the walls of their tanks using their tiny claws. And once they're out, well, who knows where they'll end up? It's almost like they get bored of their luxurious aquarium life and think, I wonder what's out there in the human world. But as cute as it sounds, it's also a reminder to crayfish owners to make sure their tanks are secure. The last thing you want is your little escape artist showing up in the kitchen while you're making breakfast. All right, time for some fun facts. These little guys are packed with quirks and surprises, and I've saved some of the best for last. 1. Glow-in-the-dark party animals. Yep, as I mentioned earlier, these crayfish actually fluoresce under blacklight. Imagine your aquarium turning into an underwater rave every time you switch on the light. It's like a party you didn't even know you were hosting. 2. Drama queens of the deep. These crustaceans aren't shy about their emotions. Feeling threatened, claws up, dramatic wave, and a full-on display of defiance. They'll show everyone who's boss, even if it's just a harmless snail wandering by. 3. Master escape artists. I know I've said this a few times, but it bears repeating. These guys can climb out of tanks. They've got the Houdini thing down pat. Make sure you've got a secure lid, or you might just find your crayfish sneaking around your house. 4. Gender-bending surprise. Some of these crayfish can change their gender. Yep, in the world of neon red crayfish, identity is fluid. One day male, the next day female. Nature's way of keeping things interesting. 5. Underwater landscapers. They have a thing for rearranging their tanks. They'll move plants and pebbles around like they're redecorating for a new season. It's cute until you realize your perfectly designed tank has been turned upside down overnight. Now, if you're thinking about bringing one of these colorful characters home, there are a few things you need to know about their care. First off, they like clean water. You'll need to do regular water changes and have a solid filtration system in place. Think of it like this. Would you want to live in a messy house? Neither do they. Keeping their tank clean is key to making sure they stay healthy and happy. Feeding them is pretty straightforward. They're scavengers, so they'll eat a variety of things. You can give them fish food, algae wafers, or even vegetables like zucchini or peas. Just don't overfeed them. Too much food can mess with the water quality, and remember, clean water is their jam. Tank mates? Now that's a tricky subject. Neon red crayfish aren't always the friendliest neighbors. If you've got slow-moving fish in the tank, there's a chance they might become dinner. Yep, these crayfish are opportunistic feeders, and slow fish are an easy snack. If you want to add other creatures to the tank, make sure they're fast swimmers or can hold their own. All right, my fellow crayfish fans, I hope you've enjoyed this colorful journey into the world of the neon red crayfish. These little guys are full of surprises, from their glow-in-the-dark antics to their tetrachromatic vision and even their love for redecorating. Just remember, you don't just have a pet, you're getting an entertainer. If you thought that was fun, check out our next video where we see what happens if a simple tap water mistake turns your pufferfish into a prickly balloon faster than you can say fish fry. We're diving into the top 5 mind-blowing mistakes that pufferfish keepers make. And trust us, these aren't your typical oops moments. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. What's your favorite thing about the neon red crayfish? Or better yet, do you have a crayfish escape story of your own? Let me know. And of course, check out the other videos on my channel for more exotic pet fun. See you next time.